Now at 6, gunfire across Indianapolis. Several shootings being investigated, including one critically injuring someone right in the heart of downtown. What we're learning tonight about the crimes.
And after a stormy start to the day, now we're clearing out what we can look forward to as we head into our Sunday.
Plus, after 6 years, investigators are still working to find the person who took a man's life in Morgan County. His sister tonight is talking about the hope to finally find his killer. All right, we start on this Saturday night in the Weather Center because we are finally starting to dry out across central Indiana. It has been a really wet week, Rob. So I guess, we have more rain in the forecast.
We do.
But how long's the dry spell?
I think we're going to get at least a good 2 solid days, maybe 3.
Oh, good.
Depending on how Tuesday looks. But I think we're looking okay. This is the front that moved through this morning. Boy, what a front it was when it moved through. Gusty winds, and thankfully that has now all moved to the east, and we can start drying out. May still take us through the rest of this evening to clear out some of the clouds, but at least that's the expectations. Right now we do have temperatures still at 61. We've got some southwest winds, but these are just now about to change. They're about to shift direction because this front is moving in. While it's 61 in Indy, it's 40s to the west. So the front is moving through. It's going to be dramatic for the short term, dropping our temperatures already down into the 50s and even some 40s to the west. The 60s are going to go away, and then overnight tonight will drop down into the 30s. That's the expectation as we keep some clouds in place, but getting a general clearing trend by tomorrow so that we can really see some sunshine, dry out, keep the rain chances away for a while. Low temperatures right around 40 for the overnight. Sunday looks great, by the way. We will start out a bit on the cooler side, but we should warm up to near 60. Once we get rid of any leftover clouds from this front, it's wall-to-wall clear skies for at least 2 days, potentially 3. It's looking pretty good. Your high temperatures at 60 degrees. Now we need those dry conditions because we still have some flood warnings that are in place for a lot of the rivers down south. Now coming up, I'm going to talk a little bit about that and the upcoming storm chance next week. It is Severe Weather Awareness Week next week, and that may come with a chance for severe storms. I'll outline what to expect when they arrive and if we'll keep these spring-like temperatures in the forecast coming up.
All right, see you in a few minutes, Rob. Thank you.
Yeah.
It has been a violent 24 hours here in Indianapolis. A man is dead tonight, and police detained 4 people after a shooting on Indy's northeast side. This happened around 1:30 this morning at the troubled Meadows apartment complex near 38th and Keystone. Police say the man shot was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police also tell us 4 persons of interest were detained at the scene there. Our Brandon Schaff is following this shooting tonight. He'll have the latest on the investigation for us on 13 News at 11. Metro Police also investigating a shooting that happened right in the heart of downtown. Investigators tell us they got a call for a disturbance just before 2 a.m. near Pennsylvania and Washington Streets downtown. That was quickly upgraded to a person shot. Officers there found a man who'd been shot in critical condition. Police also detained a person of interest in the case, and that area of downtown on a busy weekend with the women's Big Ten tournament in Indy was closed off for the shooting investigation.
Obviously, with it being downtown, we know that there's folks who are in the downtown enjoying downtown. Downtown continues to be our safest district, as you know this already. So again, we'll continue to do everything that we can to combat violent crime. Chief Terry, every woman and man on our agency, our primary focus is reducing violent crime.
Metro Police are asking anyone who witnessed this shooting to call Crime Stoppers. That number 317-262-TIPS. 2 teenagers are under arrest tonight after a deadly shooting this week in Crawfordsville. The shooting happened Thursday night at Milligan Park. That's where police and medics found 31-year-old Caleb Isabel. He died from his injuries at the hospital. Well, police now say they later arrested 2 18-year-olds in connection with that deadly shooting. They are both facing charges tonight. In Morgan County tonight, there's a renewed push for justice 6 years after a man's death. Someone broke into a home and shot and killed Ernest Phillips. But tonight, whoever pulled the trigger is still out there. Phillips' family sat down today with our Marina Silva as they push for answers.
6 years.
So I hope every year this is going to be the year.
For Nikki Hubble, that hope has never gone away. She's still waiting to learn why her brother was killed. Ernie, or as his family calls him Poke, was house sitting for his nephew in Paragon on the night of March 6th into the morning of March 7th. When the nephew got home the morning of March 7th, 2020, he found Ernie shot, and the home was burglarized.
I just remember screaming and hearing myself screaming, and my husband kind of took over from there.
Since that day, investigators with the Morgan County Sheriff's Office have worked the case.
I see this every day.
The case is now in the hands of Detective Sergeant Patrick Williams.
There are some people that were talked to early on in the investigation by the previous detective. We encourage those people to come back forward. Attempts have been made to reach them.
Sergeant Williams says the goal is simple: bring the person responsible to justice.
And they need closure, they need some answers, and they want what everyone does is the people held accountable for what they did.
For Nikki, this hits her every day.
And we're angry. We're angry. And it's just been a long 6 years.
She knows someone knows something.
It's hard to understand why. I'm sure there are things that we don't know, but I feel like there is a lot that we do know.
As the family marks 6 years without answers, they're still hoping the person who knows the truth will finally come forward. In Morgan County, Marina Silva, 13 News.
An autopsy is set for Monday on that body found in a drainage ditch in Greenwood. The Johnson County coroner says someone found the unidentified body on Friday. That discovery made in a ditch along State Road 135 just south of Stones Crossing Road. We should learn the person's identity and how they died on Monday. A multi-car crash and police chase flipped a state police cruiser onto its side. Take a look here. State police shared the impact. This was on I-65 last night in southern Indiana. They say a trooper tried to stop a car for a missing license plate in Clark County. Police say the driver sped off, then crashed into 2 other cars, including this ISP cruiser. The trooper is okay, but 2 children in the other car hit were taken to the hospital as a precaution. The suspect, a man from Louisville, is now facing multiple charges. In Evansville, firefighters rescued an unconscious driver this morning from a burning car. Just after 3 a.m., crews say they found a car on fire and under a semi-trailer after it hit a utility pole. Firefighters were able to put out the fire and rescue the driver who was trapped and unconscious. That driver's now being treated at a hospital. Police now investigating the crash. Tonight, tensions continue to flare in Iran as we enter the 2nd week of this conflict. And as Jen Sullivan reports tonight, it's all happening as the remains of 6 U.S. service members killed in a drone strike in Kuwait are now returning home.
Gray clouds hanging over the families of fallen soldiers as their remains are brought back to the U.S. The dignified transfer happening at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware Saturday. These 6 service members were killed in a drone strike in Kuwait last week.
They're great heroes in our country.
President Donald Trump speaking about the fallen soldiers at a different event earlier in the day. It's been more than a week since the U.S. and Israel launched a massive and coordinated attack on Iran to cripple that country's nuclear program and force a regime change.
We did the world a favor.
Iran launched a wave of retaliatory strikes on U.S. military bases, targets in Israel, and across the Middle East. The ongoing violence has rocked the region.
We do not intend to attack neighboring countries. As I have repeatedly said, they are our brothers.
The Iranian president also said they must not help the U.S. or Israel in their attacks. Meanwhile, Trump posted on Truth Social that violence would escalate, saying in part, Iran will be hit very hard. Many questions remain about what comes next for Iran and who will take over.
It is not going to go away with bombs from the sky. This regime has to be fought with on the ground by the people of Iran.
According to Iran's state-led media, a new supreme leader could be chosen in the next day. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Have you filled up your gas tank lately? Prices are being impacted by the conflict in Iran. Still ahead, we'll tell you just how much you'll be paying at the pump. Rob?
And we are going to get at least those 2 days to dry out. The forecast for Sunday looking pretty good with lots of sunshine, but cooler temperatures. I'll show you what to expect over the next couple of days.
I was hurt, I couldn't work, and it was stressful. But after I called the Ken Nunn Law Office, everything got a lot easier. They didn't stop fighting until I got the settlement I deserved.
Just like my dad said, call us. It's just that easy.
1-800-CALL-KEN.
Some things have a way of lighting up our world. Words, moments, people, shaping not just who we are, but who they are as well. With loved ones who faced Alzheimer's disease, our Team USA athletes want to shine a light on Kisunla, an anti-amyloid treatment for early symptomatic Alzheimer's disease proven to slow the progression of the disease. Kisunla can cause amyloid-related imaging abnormalities, or ARIA, which is temporary bleeding and/or swelling in the brain. Your doctor may test for a gene that raises its risk. ARIA doesn't usually cause symptoms, but can be serious and fatal. Symptoms may include headache, confusion, dizziness, vision changes, nausea, difficulty walking, or seizures. Tell your doctor if you take medications to reduce blood clots. Do not take if you have a known allergy to Kisunla or any of its ingredients. Serious infusion-related and allergic reactions can occur. These are not all of the possible side effects. Call your doctor right away if you experience any side effects. There's a light within us all. Visit Kisunla.com to learn about evaluation and testing to see if Kisunla may be right for you.
There's one name for every home system: Chapman. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, drains, electrical, and now proudly serving Bloomington. Remember the man for all seasons, and now more reasons. Chapman. ChapmanHeating.com.
Sports never stop, and neither do we. Locked On Podcast Network has a daily show for all your hometown teams. Listen or watch on the WTHR Plus app or wherever you get podcasts. Your team every day.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on WTHR Plus.
New data from AAA says the average price of gas right now is $3.41 a gallon. That's the highest since August of 2024. Gas prices have been surging because of the conflict in Iran. In just the last week, they've gone up 43 cents, and that marks the largest weekly increase since early March 2022. That's when Russia invaded Ukraine. The average price of diesel also rising. It's up 75 cents in the last week, now at $4.51 a gallon. Rob?
Well, those dry conditions will come to an end once the next system arrives around midweek. We'll talk about our storm chances for this, how much rain we could see, and what to expect for temperatures coming up.
And the Colts are making changes to their roster. We've got details of their latest trade next.
Darren, have we always wanted to win?
Nick, pie eating contest. We won.
Injured? Stewart & Stewart. Get Stewart.com.
Best One Tire and Service knows the most important things in your life ride with you. That's why you can always count on Best One Tire and Service to be your trusted full-service auto care expert. Visit bestonetire.com today to request an appointment from one of our many locations. Tires, oil changes, maintenance, and more. Slam dunk savings are at Best One Tire and Service. Get up to $230 back when you buy 4 new select Bridgestone or Firestone tires. Plus, we have financing options. Best One, selling tires, serving people.
I was hurt, I couldn't work, and it was stressful. But after I called the Ken Nunn Law Office, everything got a lot easier. They didn't stop fighting until I got the settlement I deserved.
Just like my dad said, call us. It's just that easy.
1-800-CALL-KEN.
Big plays, unforgettable moments. From the hardwood to the gridiron, no one brings you the action like 13 Sports. You're home for it all. Every night on 13 News. Sponsored by your Central Indiana Chevy dealers. Visit ChooseYourChevy.com.
You can save big in every aisle at Kroger. USDA Choice Ribeye Steaks are just $9.99 a pound with your card. And select packs of soda are buy 3, get 3 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Darren, have we always wanted to win?
Nick, pie eating contest. We won.
Injured? Stewart & Stewart. Get Stewart.com.
A big trade for the Colts today. According to ESPN, the team traded former Pro Bowl linebacker Zaire Franklin to the Packers. Franklin spent 8 years here in Indy, and he led the NFL in tackles back in 2024. But GM Chris Ballard has said he wants the Colts defense to get younger and faster. So here's who they got for Franklin. Defensive tackle Colby Wooden is now headed to the Colts. Wooden started 16 of 17 games with Green Bay last season. IndyCar back on the track on this Saturday, this time in Phoenix. The first time back in the desert since 2018. Drivers on the oval today in the Good Ranchers 250. David Malukas had the pole with Joseph Newgarden starting second. And last year's IndyCar champion Alex Palou was out of the race relatively early with a wreck. In the end, it was Newgarden with a late charge in the final laps to win at Phoenix. And if this all gets you itching for May, we are now 78 days from the Indy 500 on May 24th. Can't wait. This weekend, Leah Pruitt makes her return to a top fuel dragster as the NHRA season opens in Gainesville, Florida. Pruitt started a family with local racing legend Tony Stewart, and now, as our Rich Nye reports, she's excited to get back on the starting line and race against her husband.
Here she goes, Leah Pruitt. Leah Pruitt is an accomplished NHRA drag racer with 12 wins in her career. She climbed out of her top fuel dragster in 2023 to accomplish another goal. Pruitt wanted a family with husband and race team owner Tony Stewart. Pruitt watched Stewart take over the ride for 2 years as she was pregnant and then delivered Dominic in November 2024. She served as team consultant last year while learning to be a mom. Stewart drove to the regular season championship. Now Pruitt is ready to race again.
When I raced before, I was a very intense individual, and everything kind of came second to racing. And now that I'm a mom, I look forward to the talent of balancing that both. I don't believe that my intensity is going to, be notched down. I just know that there is more to life than racing.
Your husband owns the team. He was driving the car. You've kicked him out of the car so you can get back in the car, and now he's going to drive against you for another team? Have I gotten that all right or sorted out for me?
You do. Those pieces of the puzzle are all correct. And Tony was very concerned in the beginning when he replaced me when I was pregnant. He goes, I want fans to know this is a temporary move.
Stewart is racing this year in a partnership with Elite Motorsports. Husband and wife will likely compete on the drag strip.
He whips my butt in go-karts all the time. Basically anything that we compete in, if it doesn't have to do with, putting Dom to sleep or feeding him or anything that is parental. So I'm looking forward to racing against what I consider the best wheelman of modern day history. That is what Tony is.
And his wife is a working mom in the same fast-paced office, going over 300 miles an hour. Rich Nye, 13 News.
Man, between IndyCar and the drag racers, it does get you ready for spring, and let's rev the engines and let's get some sunshine already.
I started to see some of the flowers blooming today. I had some daffodils out in the yard.
Perfect.
I was very excited about that. We needed that. It has been a stormy week.
Sure.
Thankfully, things appear to be calming down for a while. We just have some leftover clouds. The clouds are going to take some time before they finally move out of here. There is a little peak of sunshine here and there, but overall, it's slow to clear out. I think by tomorrow, we're certainly going to be dealing with some much cooler conditions. Speaking of cooler conditions and clearer skies, take a look at Michigan City, down to 45. That's where the colder air has already arrived. It's going to take a little bit longer for that to move in. These clouds are probably going to stay with us through a good portion of the evening. Overnight, though, we hope to filter some of those out. We may be left with a little bit in the morning. Wanted to show you this. Look, at so far for the month, we've received over 5 inches of rain. We're only 6 or 7 days in to March, and we're already 4¼ inches over where we should be for this time of year. Average in March, we see about 3.5 inches of rain. We've already seen that just a few days into the month. We need a chance to dry out. We still do have river flood warnings that are in place. It takes time for those rivers to finally drain. We will get at least 2 days for that to finally help, but we do expect more rain in the forecast. Let me show you. We'll show you future track. I'll put the clouds and radar on, but once they move out, I think we stay quiet for at least 2 days. Temperatures into the 30s tonight. This particular model getting us down into the mid-30s. I think we'll stay closer to 40. Future track tomorrow has us up into the 60s yet again. We've got low 60s expected. That's a fairly nice day. It is going to be a bit on the breezy side. Then we go into the 70s again for Monday. I think Monday is your best day of the week. Beautiful sunshine, temperatures in the low to mid 70s. This is going to be a fantastic day. Heading into Tuesday, it looks pretty good as well, but you saw a chance for a couple of showers to pop up here, and then this is expected to arrive. A chance for some showers and storms. Now, this is going to be late Tuesday, but we think that that chance for severe storms could be there. After all, we are in March. Severe weather season. Severe Weather Awareness Week is next week, where we'll have the tornado drill on Tuesday. We'll have to see how the severe weather threat will impact that. Sometimes if there is a severe weather threat, they will move that. We'll see what happens. The severe weather threat is mainly to the west, but it could spill over as those storms continue to move to the east. It's also going to add additional rain into the forecast. We will see likely sometime around late Tuesday, you'll see these numbers start to creep up. Here they go. Watch as the system moves in and brings us potentially as much as 2 to 3 inches of rain, maybe even a few isolated spots picking up more than that. I think it'll be a little bit weaker than what we had to deal with last week, but it's going to be very similar. Showers and storms, some on the strong to severe side, producing some heavy rain. Very typical pattern of what we expect in the spring. Speaking of typical spring pattern, you get into the 70s, very nice days. A front comes through, drops your temperatures down. That's usually accompanied by some storms and some colder temperatures. There's the 47 for the high temperature next Thursday, and then we start climbing the hill again. We'll likely do this over and over again through the month of March, as this is the very typical spring pattern. Lots of sun for tomorrow, clear skies for Monday, beautiful days ahead. We need this. Then that chance for a few isolated storms, mainly later in the evening. That will cool us down. We drop the temperatures into the 40s for Thursday, but at least we see some sunshine. We'll watch that storm chance and the threat for severe weather late Tuesday and into Wednesday.
All right, I know you'll be on top of it. Thanks, Rob. Cleanup, meanwhile, is underway right now after a deadly tornado tore through southern Michigan. And sadly, we've learned a 12-year-old boy was killed in the storm. That tornado touched down just a few miles from the Indiana border. So take a look at the damage here. The boy's family called 911 Friday afternoon after the storm crashed through their home in Edwardsburg. They couldn't find their son. Crews at the scene found him, tried to save him, but he died at the hospital. At least 3 other deaths and nearly a dozen injuries are also being connected to the storms in southwest Michigan. 6 people in SeaWorld in Orlando got so sick on a ride they had to go to the hospital. SeaWorld released a statement saying the park guests were on a ride that stopped for about 7 minutes. In that time, 6 people reported not feeling well. Now, we don't know yet which ride was stopped or what caused the problem. The visitors, though, were taken to the hospital for evaluation. We have a recall to tell you about tonight. This one involves Ford. Ford is recalling 1.7 million vehicles because of issues with the rear view camera. So this impacts multiple models, including the Bronco, Edge, Explorer, and Escape, as well as Lincoln Corsair and Aviator. The model years are from 2020 through 2024. Ford says depending on the vehicle, the rear view camera might not display when in reverse, or images could be inverted. Ford says it will repair the software for free. Still ahead tonight, the Mega Millions jackpot just got bigger. How much cash we're talking about ahead of Tuesday night's drawing next.
Should we take a look at? What do you think?
So here, from design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call or visit rebath.com to learn more about no interest up to 72 months.
This month, the luck is with everyone during the Shamrock Savings Event at Hare Chevrolet. Find a pot of gold in dealer savings on our entire inventory of new vehicles, like a new 26 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT Turbo Max. Now
Call or visit rebath.com to learn more about no interest up to 72 months.
This newscast is sponsored by Ashley Furniture Home Store.
All right, the Mega Millions jackpot has grown to over $500 million with a B. That's after nobody matched all 6 numbers in Friday night's drawing. The jackpot now sits at an estimated $533 million. That translates to a cash option of a mere $244 million. This marks the first time this jackpot has surpassed $500 million this year. The next drawing is Tuesday night. I feel like we've had so many big jackpots. So when we say this year, it's obviously early March. Last year, it felt like it just kept building.
We had some billion-dollar jackpots.
Well,
I think
good luck.
They changed the rules so that they can increase that kind of.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they changed the rules so that the chance for it to reach those high values goes up a bit, gets more people interested. You hear
I learned something.
$500 million. That looks pretty good, right?
I'm in.
It's maybe more of $1 million forecast for the next couple of days. Very nice. Early spring. I mean, this is really going to be very, very comfortable for Sunday. 60 degrees, maybe a little bit on the breezy side after a chilly start, down near 40. But Monday, I think, is going to be the best day of the entire week. Low 70s, and even the early part of Tuesday looks pretty good. We need those 3 days to dry out. Any amount of time that passes until we get the next big rain chance is going to be great news for the rivers. They should begin to subside a bit. Unfortunately, that system that arrives late Tuesday and into Wednesday will likely bring us a good chance for some heavy rain and the possibility of some strong storms. It is springtime. As much as we love those spring conditions and the flowers blooming, comes with a chance of severe weather every now and then.
And you mentioned next week is severe weather preparedness week, so it's something for all of us to kind of be thinking about.
Keep it in mind, it is that time of year.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rob. Thanks so much for joining us tonight at 6. We certainly appreciate it. Hope you enjoy a great evening, and we'll see you back right here at 11 o'clock. Good night.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Tom Wood Volvo on 96th Street.